Can't find my fucking tripod, so welcome to the world's smallest room walking around vlog. I just got a response video that was really great from a guy called J-Man Speaks, and it was in response to my video about how good art is the first to go. And he was basically explaining that it's more complex than that, that really when you're invested in the personal narrative of a YouTuber, you're more likely to consume more of their stuff. It's not just about consuming the best, but also the people who you care about. And I don't even know how I didn't make that point when I was talking about how, with like Best Guy Ever and Hypocrite and Endless Jess, I'll watch all their videos no matter what they put out. And I don't know, I guess I justified it in the video as that each of them is so inventive and will always do something new that I will always watch their stuff, but that's not entirely true. And I'm definitely blowing it out of proportion how much of their stuff is like that. Like, I will watch anything they put out, even if it's not like that. I know Hippo will do vlogs where he just barely says anything for 6 minutes. I know some of guys' Mia Mafova videos were like a gameplay footage thing, like when he just played Hollow Knight for an hour and a half, and I watched all of that. So yeah, I'm definitely overstating like how much individually goes on with their videos and underselling the importance of the narrative that I follow them, which of course is extremely important for my videos. And a lot of the response to that video was like, I'll watch all of your stuff, Digi. Like, I drop everything even if it's a retarded, stupid vlog. And yeah, it is because you're invested in the narrative. So why am I not invested in the narrative of channels like Deep Cuts or Better Than Food Book Reviews, who are two of the ones I named in there, or like some other channels that I follow that are similar? Like, I was just watching a Dead End Hip Hop video, which is a channel that I didn't watch while I was on the trip because I'm not that invested. And I came to the conclusion quickly that, like, it's because you have to earn that. You have to earn the ability to make people watch your content even when it's just good. And you do that by making content that's great. Not everything you make has to be great, but when you make something great, it draws people in. It gets them invested. And, J-Man addresses in his video that his favorite video of mine is the Cowboy Bebop one, the You're Gonna Carry That Weight video, because it had such a huge emotional impact, that he felt like he got the emotional impact of the show just from that video. And so I earned his viewership. I earned him becoming a fan and wanting to know more and wanting to be invested in the narrative, so that even my good videos or my mediocre videos, they're still informative to this greater character. They're part of the story of the guy who made the great thing, And he makes a great point that this is why Best Guy Ever needed Mia Mafova, because he didn't have enough narrative. He had great videos. He had earned the right to have a narrative, to have people follow his content, but he didn't have a narrative. He didn't have something, enough to go on. And so with Mia Mafova, he had earned it. He had earned the right to make those videos because people know what he can do. They know that if he wants to, he can make Gurren Lagann Part 2, or he can make Gurren Lagann Part 1, or he can make any of those videos that he's, that are his incredible, dense, beautiful, well thought out stuff. And so, like, knowing that he can do that makes you that much more invested even when he's not quite doing that. Endless Jess, I think part of the reason it's so hard for him to grow is that people can't tell where they need to go to find the really intense stuff that's going to get you invested, especially if you weren't around for the Horseshoe reviews and everything, which were the really huge arc that he put together. Or if you didn't watch What You Gonna Do, or haven't watched the panel cast, if you've only seen the wrong sort of videos, you might not be as invested in the narrative. And that's why it's hard to break into the Endless Jess narrative. But once you're in, it's the most gripping thing that's happening on YouTube for the whole last 5 years. Or Hippo. I'm willing to watch all of his stuff because I have this sort of idea of his character and who he is. And of course it helps that I'm friends with all those guys, so I'm even more invested in their narrative than most. But even if I put out a vlog that's just okay, and Better Than Food puts out a vlog that's just okay, there's a more inherent value in knowing that I have also put out this great stuff. By the way, I'm not slagging on Better Than Food or Deep Cuts. Those guys are great. they're just people who come to mind as guys who aren't like super serious YouTubers. They're not people who've made like a fucking epic video. They're people who just kind of do review vlogs. And so there's not that like sensation of, oh, they've made like a YouTube masterpiece or something. And I realize it sounds incredibly conceited to put myself in that category. I don't think I've made anything that's as good as the best Endless Jest or Best Guy Ever videos, like individually, but my career has more narrative than anybody's because I, as J-Man puts it, document like everything that goes on in my life and mind and everything I see and everything I think about. So, you know, it's easy to get very enveloped in my narrative, and that's why I have people who are keeping up with my content even though there's so much of it that it would drive out other things in your life, you know. But I totally get being that invested. Like, you know, if there was one show that I loved so much that it made every other show irrelevant, that's going to be the only show I watch, even if I have to, you know, stop watching the other stuff that's just good, you know, to keep up with it. So anyway, yeah, great response. Thanks for that, J-Man. Very flattering response as well. Thank you for all the compliments. And I hope I've earned my narrative. I mean, I obviously have, because, you know, plenty of people are invested in it. But, yeah, good point there, buddy.